Some quick updates on some progress. First of all, yeah, that's a scorpion. We get a lot of them here. I've got these traps all over the place and catch quite a few between, I want to say, March and October, November. So that's just for kicks and giggles right there. Cebu Blue, recovering, kind of. Most of the stuff here is a little bit on the recovery mode, thanks to thrips, which I have started addressing since about last week, and things are on the mend. And well, as we go along, I'll explain. This is the potted, air-layered side shoot of the ficus that I ended up cutting off and then rooting fully in pumice. And this was growing off the original stem below the cut at a 45-degree angle. This was the side shoot that the ficus made after I cut it, and then I air layered this right next to the joint and then cut this off and potted it up. And there's the alocasia melos, or melos, from corms. The parent died. I'm not sure exactly why, but these are the offspring, and I'm plenty satisfied with that. It gives me a lot to play around with. And in the back, of course, are all the Schefflera cuttings. I do one or two a year, every year. Basically just chop them off and root them in perlite. But I only do it in when the days are getting longer, after April or March. I found over the years that almost guaranteed they'll root and not be a problem as long as the days are long and you keep up the humidity. I've tented these and have done very well. Boston Firm. There's Granddaddy Loach and my legs. Here's another humidifier. This Lavoit and the Crane that I've got are the two best humidifiers I have. Right down there. Doing very well, by the way. Shaded by the Solom is the Beginda, the Alocasia Beginda that I ripped out. Is there a Phytophora not doing too hot? Here's the Capertia. I think this is the Ornata. This is the thrips damage. And down here you can see the imidacloprid I also put down a couple days ago, and there is a new shoot, so things are going to be fine. This was after the great big rip into two. But that shoot right there, which is coming up like gangbusters, tells me everything's going to be a-okay. Here's some die-off, of course, which I haven't yet plucked off or pruned, but it's on the mend. Same for this Glorious. You can see the thrips damage, the little yellow spots, the spotting, and the streaking along the edges. That's all thrips. I'm finding less and less after putting up the no pest strips. The imidacloprid is going to knock everything out for once and for all. There are the baby gigases. Both shoots are putting out leaves. That is a one-leaf shoot, one-leaf cutting with a new leaf there. And there is a three-leaf cutting with, that's the first new leaf since the repot, and that's the second new leaf getting ready to unfurl and properly facing front and drooping downwards the way it should be. I'm happy. This Adansonii is also hit by thrips. I just moved this nopus strip right next to it because it's been taking more than a few days to knock them out, and it just got hit yesterday with, again, imidacloprid, which I'm slowly watering into everybody here to finally knock out the thrips. This time I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive. Here's the other Capertia, and again, thrip damage up the top. But some really nice side shoots at the bottom. And this is the top piece of the original rubber tree when I cut it in half. Now fully potted, grown, rooting, establishing, doing fine. New leaf getting ready. Getting a little bit bigger every day. That's all I need. And here is the golden crocodile mounted on a pole. It sounds perverse, but that's what it is. A golden crocodile mounted on a pole. And here is the gigas with the first semi-adult leaf trio finished. And there is the first leaf that it put out at almost a foot long. There is the front-facing leaf that put out almost a foot long. Still just a little bit of that light bronze mixed in. Hasn't gone fully dark velvet green yet. And there is the third guy right there. Same size as the front-facing leaf. Still has a little bit of that rust color to it. Doing well. And now it's going to, you can see the growth tip right there. And that's going to swing around again to here. Drop a leaf. Then the center is going to be about here. And then by the time the third leaf comes up, it should be ready to go past the union coupler, rather, that I bought for this pole. Gonna go up there. I already have another pole drilled and ready to go up top, and it'll temporarily be a 6-foot pole until it gets chopped, which will happen when it's about, let's say, probably about here, about a foot from where the top of that tube is now, and then it goes down. And here's a quick rundown of the floor. Diefenbachia, again, I think that pale color is because it's been battling. Thrips, I'm not sure yet. It's been fertilized, we'll see. Another Gapersia. This is the medallion, I think. There's my Alocasia Red Secret. This flops up and down. Screw it. It's already given me a double, so I'm not too disappointed with it. And it's throwing off a side sprout, as you can see right there at the bottom. Which I think replaces where I originally cut it to get the Red Secret number 2, which we'll hit in a second. Here's my rattlesnake. There's the OG Beginda, another one of the babies. There's I forget what this is called. I think it's a Tridescanthia. It's a much hairier version than what I'm used to, and a fatter leaf. I'm used to the narrower purple, which is what I thought this was when I ordered it. But at any rate, here's the Aglaonema. I forget what this is called. I think it's a sunset or some such. Started again with 1. I split it into 2. Here's the Scindapsus Moonlight. Avocado. Here's the other Aglaonema. They're doing really well. They keep flowering every once in a while, and I keep chopping off the flowers. There's 2 of the babies out of the Ring of Fire. And there's the the original Ring of Fire that I then, after I ripped off the babies, I mounted it on a pole, and it's doing quite well. That's the new leaf right there. Finally opened up completely. It'll get maybe another inch or 2 longer, another ½ inch wider, and we'll see what the next leaves are going to look like. That's what I'm looking for to see for the upsize. Very quickly, the Jungle Boogie is putting out a small flower. You can see it maybe right there. It's that little red bulbous thing. And I think that'll be it for today. Here you can see the killer fog coming out from the Levoit humidifier and passing the aquarium. I want to show off the other humidifier. This is a crane. Both the crane and the Levoit are excellent. The crane doesn't have a hot mist function, which I don't like that much, but it does a really great job even as a cool mist function. It can really handle this entire room by itself, but what I do is I leave it on low constantly. All the time. It's on the lowest output it's got, and as you can see, it keeps this area, well, maybe you can't see, right around 80. That says 80, take my word for it. And you can see here on the other side, we have 79. They're not the most accurate humidistats in the world, and neither is this here, right here, this ThermPro. It could be off 5 to 10% easily, but it's up there. I get nice condensation on the windows every morning. And I think that's going to do it for now. This was really intended just to show off the gigas, but I wanted to talk about the thrips as well. The no pest strips work really well. It just takes them a while. Part of the reason is that, well, this is a hot air heated house, so right now about every 10-15 minutes the air is getting turned over here in this room, and the concentration is getting diluted. I don't mind that entirely because I have plants in other rooms in the house, so they get hit with the vapors, and I'm feeling at the very least that it's enough of a dilution for me not to worry health-wise. Time will tell. Getting poisoned from organophosphate at low levels is easily remedied and easily noticeable. There's again the Gapersia. I want to take a close-up of the thrips before I end up rambling too much. And I'm going to close out the video. There you can see the damage. That's got to be classic thrip damage right there. All those tiny holes that then spread as the leaf ages. But again, there's the new shoots right there, a double. 2 of them right there. Boom, boom. So as long as there's new growth, I'm never entirely worried. Here's a seed tray I started. Right here, it used to hold mini croissants in it from Walmart. Peeled off the label. Took an old alcohol, one of those square alcohol bottles from Walmart, and used the sides to just make a simple 9-cell tray. And I seeded this with coleus. And speaking of coleus, let's get past the mess here. This is seedlings. I restarted. I had some really nice coleus going for years that I junked because of the first thrips infestation, and they were all mostly in water. And I couldn't dose them with the imidacloprid, and I hadn't yet discovered the no pest strips. So here we go, a new batch. These are from those stupid coated seeds. You can see that's the purple little spheres there. Those are actually coleus seeds. They coat them with this crap, and then they have to first absorb that before they sprout. So they basically add another week to the sprouting time, and they're supposed to be better for the seeds, but I'm not so sure of that. This is probably the best of the seedlings right here. And that'll do it for now. Shaky hands!